Okay, so got this new, well, used, fairly cheap, but I thought it was cheap. I believe it's cheap, and I still believe it's a really good shock for all bikes if you're not running high MX, doing crazy jumping. Yeah, it's still, from my opinion, one of the better ones. Definitely looks the best, that's for sure. Anyways, I just thought I'd give a quick rundown on the shock itself. Volume spacers for all bikes, because they're so heavy, you definitely need to load up on the volume spacers. What I've been advised by my mate who works at the bicycle shop. He said it's a really good shock. Some of them, the newer ones, come with different pressure readings. As you can see on here, it tells you right there, plain to see, the pressure reading. There's no messing around. Found out today that there's different years give different pressure readings, but I was told anyway that's 250. My mate says I can run that to 270 and it should be good in my bike for my kind of riding. So yeah, don't be deterred just because people tell you it is the smaller shock that doesn't have the higher PSI rating. Load it up on these spacers, and from his advice you should be right. Obviously I'll do some testing once I've fitted it, and I will put up my testing results if it's good or if it's bad, as we all like the truth, nothing but the truth. So anyway, yeah, to strip it down, there's a Allen head bolt in there, just a little one, it's tiny. You whip that out. Now this is the first time I've done one of these myself. There we have it. It's a tiny, tiny little Allen bolt. Then you've got to twist it so that hole lines up with the centre of that to slide it off. I'll just give my hands a wipe a bit. So if we twist it, it's lined up, and then that should slide down. Correct. Then it slides down. On inspection, it's got two spaces in there already, which the guy told me it did have. You've got this other spacer here, which clearly says on there, warning, do not remove. I presume that that's because these are the larger shock. The videos I've seen of the smaller shocks, they don't have that one in there. So I presume this is to do with the larger shock. Now, these volume spacers seem to just clip on there pretty easily. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the grease that's already on here, share it around. Clip, there's one on. Probably easier to put the one from the top. I'll move it up. Clip goes in the second one. Bam. Now there's plenty of grease on this, and what I want to do is just spread it around everything. Two rubber bands on here. I presume one should be at the bottom, one should be at the top. I'm just presuming that. As I told you, I've never done this before. I'm just going off what I would presume to be right. Yeah, that looks fairly good there. Everything seems to be in there nice and snugly. And yeah, we'll button that up. So obviously you want to line up the Schrader valve there just to the right, sorry, to the left. You'll feel it. Yep, there, that's it. It's snuck in there. Just gonna get the oil off my hands. Give it a quick wipe. So then you should be able to push down on that. Yep, that locked in. And then you obviously need to twist twist it back so the locating screw is in the little hole. At the moment it is over here, so you need to twist it back that way. That's it, it is back in place. You'll then put back in your locating screw. Nice and snug. Obviously you don't want to over tighten everything here, you just want to put it in nice and snug. So I like to use these little thin ones and just give it a little tweak when it bends. Pretty good. Then that's it. I will now get a shock pump, inflate that up to the 270 psi. Now for this there is a procedure you have to follow where you have to pump it and pump it up, pump it up, bounce up and down on the shock to ensure you equalise both of the chambers. But that's it. So from my opinion and what I've been told by someone who deals with these shocks regularly, they are one of the better shocks you can get due to their tunability, how adjustable they are for different terrain and different riding styles, and their super plush absorption of low speed, high speed, compression, everything like that. So yeah, that in my opinion, and a lot of other people who use them actually have them on their bikes, one of the best shocks you can get. Obviously it's not recommended if you're going to be doing massive jumps. You will want to run a coil, but for looks wise and for road wise, for my build in particular, this is going to be perfect for my needs and will probably suit a lot of other people. $500 that was, 360 USD. So you can pick them up fairly cheap. Just keep your eyes out. You do not need to spend the $1,100 Australian, whatever it is, to buy them new, because yeah, it's pretty expensive. So you can do a budget build if you take your time and shop smart. Hopefully that helps some people out. And yeah, soon once I've tested it, I'll put up if it's actually any good ride wise. But I believe it's going to be fine because yeah, I've had it on good authority from someone who deals with them that it is. Yeah. So obviously that is my bike, road bike, so it is not designed for massive jumps or anything like that. I've even got a foot plate on there for comfort. But yeah, you can see it should be fine. So thanks guys, that's it on the Fox Float X2 with the lower PSI. Don't be afraid if you're not going to do big jumps to get them if they pop up.